What's up, teammates? I know it's been a minute, but the last show I did was the quarterback comparison show, and I tell you, it blew my mind. Really, I couldn't understand it. I couldn't see how those numbers, the way it looked out, the way I worked it out, it came out that Derek Carr is the most proficient quarterback in the league, according to those numbers, and it drove me insane. I said, it doesn't make any sense. I can't understand how Patrick Mahomes and Aiden O'Connell's numbers can be so similar, but Patrick Mahomes' success is immensely better. And there's no doubting that. But when you look at it, why is he so good? How could it be that those are his numbers, but he's the best? Why is Derek numbers so proficient as far as where he ranks in each category, but Derek Carr can't get it done anywhere? I couldn't understand it. I couldn't understand football at that moment, and I was kind of put off by to do the show because I'm like, my angle isn't working. The way I understand what I understand is not the way football is made to work out. It just isn't. So why doesn't it match up? This is football, ladies and gentlemen. Football is different from every single sport. I had time to think about it, and then Hondo Carpenter came out with the show today. It's an hour long, but he hit on what's important. And, you can go back and watch it yourself and see exactly what he went on as far as one of the things was preparation, and the other thing was unity, and I can't even remember what the third one was because that's not important. What's important is that football is a different game, different than any other game. And I realized there's different reasons. But one of the biggest reasons is in every other sport, everybody has the same goal. They're looking to do the same thing. Each player on the field, when it comes down to it, is trying to do the same thing. Even if you're a defenseman in hockey, if you're I guess forward in soccer. I'm not a soccer guy. I don't know how the defense and offense works out. But if you're doing baseball, everybody on the floor of play has the same goal, and that is to score points. And that's the way that the team is successful. But that's not football. Football is everybody on the field has their own goal, their own thing that they have to do to make the play successful. That person's goal is to make sure I block this person. The wide receiver's goal is to make sure I beat the DB on this route or block him on this run play. And that's why football is the ultimate team sport. That's why football is so arm in arm. That's what makes football football. Because we can't all do the same thing. Everybody can't try to make the same contribution for the best outcome. Everybody has to make their own personal contribution through the whole of the play for the play to be successful. So everybody goes out there with their own goal, and you have to trust that the person next to you is going to achieve his goal because you feel like you're going to achieve your goal. So there's no reason for you to leave or mistrust or stray away from your goal because that's all you're here for. And everybody on the football team has to understand that my goal is different from your goal for the play to be successful, but the ultimate goal is for us to score. But one person can't make it happen. One Caleb Williams can't make it happen. A great quarterback can't win it for you. Patrick Mahomes, look at his overall numbers, is not all that impressive. I mean, basically barely a 2-for-1 touchdown to interception ratio. Right around, I think it was 11 somewhere between 7 and 11 yards, which is a wide gap. But it's not a phenomenal number. But yet he's the winner. Because the other part is not just each person's focus, it's the team's focus in the moment, right? Each team has to stay focused within each moment. And that's why they say you have to have a short memory in football. Now that I think about it, that's why. You have to leave that moment behind you because this moment is more important. You just got an interception and you scored a touchdown and you celebrate it means nothing when you get back on the field. You got to forget that. Who cares if that happened? You're back on the field for another defensive set. You got to live that moment. Because if you mess up that moment, whatever you did then means nothing. And that's what football is about. The moment. That's what's exciting about football. The moment. Each moment. That's why it's a game of inches. Each moment is the game, basically. Because everything can change within a moment. It really doesn't take that long for someone to go deep and catch a bomb for a touchdown and change the whole game around. It's that moment. But if you get beat for that touchdown, the next time you're on the field, you can't think about the fact that I just got beat. You got to think about the fact that I'm better than this dude and it's not going to happen this time. I don't remember what happened then. I know it's going to happen in this moment. In this instant, you're not going to beat me. Whether that happens or not is why one team wins and one team loses. But the team that understands the moment the best, that's what something that Hondo said. That was another thing. The moment, though, I realize that is what's important. And that's what makes Patrick Mahomes good. Every instance that comes that needs to be done, he ends up finding a way to get it done because he stays in that moment. Because he has to make this completion. Don't worry about how much further the next completion has to go. And that moment can be learned by everybody on the field. It has to be learned by everyone on the team. Everyone has to know that, okay, not only is this my moment, this is the moment for the team. So it's your time to shine within this moment. And each one of you has to feel that the other is going to do what they're supposed to do to shine in this moment. And your goal is not to score the touchdown. And your goal is not to protect the quarterback. And your goal is not to throw the touchdown. Maybe your goal is just to do a fake out route, but you got to do a good one. You got to achieve that fake out route. You got to make sure the defender is wanting to bite on what you're trying to do. That's your job on that play. That's your job in that moment. And that moment is what makes football exciting. The other thing that makes a winning team, I see, is cohesion. But a different type of cohesion. A type of cohesion that comes with camaraderie. And that's hard to happen. You have to build something like that. And then what happened with the Rams, eventually if you got enough talent and enough people who believe, especially if it's just a season and you can push through and it's going well, you can do that. But talent costs. So when it comes down to being a team, cohesion is important. And it can happen quickly, but it usually doesn't. It usually takes time for a team to understand that we're in it together. If we can make it together, we each know our job in the moment. Let's trust each other to do it. Let's come together as a team. Not that everybody go out there and try to make their money and do what they need to do. Let's come out there and as a team maintain our focus on our jobs because we can only do this together. It's not about me just doing my job so I can look better. It's about me doing my job because I know if I do, than he does, then the cohesion is going to work and we're going to make the play work. That is another thing about football, man. It's the camaraderie. That camaraderie creates plays. Basically, it's what we're watching is the work of their camaraderie. It's the work of that essence of the team. We're seeing the effort of their essence on the football team as they come together and do their best to accomplish each one's personal goal, then make the play work so that everyone's dream of the win can come to the fruition. That's football. Football is far different than any other sport. The mental side of football is far different than any other sport. The physical side of football is far different than any other sport. Football is something completely different. And I'm not trying to pub it up just because I want to pub it up. This is what I see and this is what I feel, because this is why football is special. This is why the numbers don't mean as much. It's because if you can't get those things right, your numbers don't really mean a damn thing. And that's what makes football exciting. That's why you like it. That's why I like it. You might not even know why you like it, but you feel it. And now I understand it. It's so many interpersonal small things within a unit. They have to work. All the cogs, they have to spin together. And those cogs don't spin as fluidly if there's no cohesion. And boy, cohesion comes better with camaraderie. And when your team works together, when your team works out together, when your team plays together, when your team is comrades, the cohesion comes, the success comes, the camaraderie, it becomes trust. The trust becomes hope, the hopes become goals, and the goal is the Super Bowl. And everybody who has come together as comrade with the same goal, wanting to do their part in this ability or in this team, the ability to go as far as they can towards that trophy. Sports is great. Football is far greater than all others. I really understood that within these last, really just a few hours when I listened to Hondo and my contemplations and wondering about where's the show going to go if something like that can come just fall apart in my face. Because to me, that quarterback ranking show was completely unsuccessful because it made no sense. The comparison by numbers looked great. The actual actions of the way the games go on and whoever the best quarterback in the league is don't pan out. And I couldn't understand it. And I was disappointed to the point I was like, why am I even doing this? Do I not know what the hell I'm talking about like everybody else? And I'm relying on numbers that necessarily don't mean anything? Well, kind of. Numbers don't mean all that much. Execution is what means all that much. Because if you throw an interception and then another interception, but the other team doesn't take advantage of your mistakes, when the moment comes, right, for you to take advantage of their mistakes, that's when you do it. So those 2 interceptions you threw earlier, you forget those. Those don't even matter because those moments have passed. We're waiting for the moment to come where I need to score, where we need to score. See if we score within that moment or if they score within that moment. And that's the winner. And that's football. I mean, when you think about it that way, that's why the Raiders got something good going. That cohesion is coming through fast, quick, and in a hurry. And it's all AP. Forget it. I'll just say it. A lot of people don't want to say it like that because you don't want to say it like that. But you know what? Leadership is important for a reason. Good leaders create good things. And it's been said time and time again by person and person around him that Antonio Pierce is a good leader. Now, he's not a control freak. He's a leader. And the best leaders are not control freaks. The best leaders know who the best people are for the best job and come together as a team with that cohesion. And that's why he says check your ego at the door. Because it's not about you, it's about the play. It's about what the person who plays your position is supposed to do in that moment. And that's where leadership teaches that to you, right? Just like I love football, and just as I just now really realized that part of football, you got to instill that in people. You know, you got to instill that in your players. Whether they see it or not, you got to help them understand this is what football is. And it's different. And we got to be comrades, and we got to trust each other. And we got to develop with each other. We got to get our time together with each other. Because otherwise it doesn't work. It doesn't work if I'm a great running back if you're not making that block and I can't get to that hole. But if I trust the fact that you're going to get to the hole, I can go as hard as I want to because I understand that it's going to be there when I expect it to be there because I trust you to do your job. Leadership shows you how to understand that. Leadership can take you and make you see what you can't see, explode it, expound it, and then make it obvious. And that's what Antonio Pierce is bringing. And he's making it obvious. And that's why he's the future of the franchise, because no one's going to work there if he gets fired. Every single person is going to be, they're going to be disgruntled. They're going to be distraught, and they're going to walk out. It's going to be like a mass walkout. And you could think that I'm going overboard. I'm sure a lot of people who don't believe in AP will say I'm going out of bounds, overboard. But what he's done, and what everybody in the building believes that he's done, is bring that focus. Make everyone understand that cohesion. Make them understand that our goal is to score. And your job is not to catch the touchdown, but if you don't do what you need to do at your best, we can't be at our best. I want you to cook the best stew you can. Because we eat good, we feel good. And you did that. You made your accomplishment make the team work. I watch the best parking lot I possibly can, and you got teammates who know that their cars are safe when they're at practice, their minds are clear, they're concentrating on the field because they trust whoever I am to take care of their car, helps with their focus on the field. You have your part in this game, if you're a part of that team, and love it, do it to the best of your ability, not because you want to do it for the best of your ability, because you want what's best for the team. And you know, working as hard as you can at doing what you do is going to help everybody else accomplish what they want to accomplish. And that's top to bottom. And AP has that relationship from top to bottom. It's not that he just walked in and shone bright upon everyone. He had been there for a while. He started those relationships not because he thought he was going to be head coach. He thought of those relationships because that's who he is. He thought of those relationships because I see who you are individually, not your job, not your position. You. I see that you are important because you do something to keep this team afloat. And I appreciate that. And everybody in the building feels that when they get to speak to him. And I genuinely believe he feels that way. And I understand that one of the reasons that he would feel that way is because he knows what success looks like, because he's been in successful environments. And he knows what success doesn't look like because he's been around failing environments, I'm sure. So he's going to know what's working when it's in the building, and when what's not working tries to get into the building, he's going to know how to keep it out. Antonio Pierce is the head of the team. He's the true leader. He's what everybody looks to for the guidance, to find the cohesion, to help them understand. And we're lucky to have our head coach as that type of leader, because a true head coach job is to lead, but it's also to organize. And that's what Antonio Pierce is. Leading, organizing. He's letting the people who need to do what they need to do it on their own cognition. You do it the way you feel you need to do it, that's going to be best for us all. Don't do it the way you feel you need to do it because that's what you want for yourself. Let's all get together and feel like we need to do this for each other. Let's check the egos at the door. It's football, people. Something different. That's why we like it. And that's why we can be successful. Not because Aiden can throw 11 touchdowns and Mahomes threw 12, and those things are so close that it shouldn't matter, but it's not the numbers. It's the moment. We are watching to see what he does in the moment. That's why you can't say anything about who's coming out and what they're going to be able to do, because you can't see until the moment comes. And all you can do is see what they've done in the moment. And all you can do is stack up moments so you can overcome. So they can see more often than not, you meet the moment and overcome the challenge. And Patrick Mahomes has shown that time and time again. Now it's us to take this season and follow whoever we follow as our quarterback. You know I'm going with Aiden O'Connell. But follow the quarterback and see if our quarterback can capture the moment. I believe Aiden O'Connell has the talent to capture the moment. I believe Antonio Pierce believes Aiden O'Connell has the ability to capture the moment. Extreme level quarterback, only super numbers can get you there. It's not that. It's the moment. Can Aiden overcome the moment? I think so. Because it's not just quarterback skills, it's what you got in between your head as the quarterback. See? And that's also the thing about the quarterback's job. The quarterback's job is not to excel. The quarterback's job is to allow the creation. And that's what Aiden O'Connell is so talented at. That's why when he takes no credit for what his wide receivers and tight ends are doing, is because I'm just doing my part on the play. Once they get the ball, it's up to them to make anything else happen. So if I get them the ball, they scored a touchdown, they are the one who scored the touchdown. I just got them the ball. So I did my job. And then he did his job and scored. So we worked together. I didn't do anything special but my job. And that's how the most talented players feel about it. That's why great running backs give their linemen gold trinkets. Because they realize, I did this, but if you didn't do what you did in each one of you, none of my success would mean anything. It couldn't be here. That's cohesion. And the understanding of cohesion, it comes from camaraderie. And the camaraderie is coming strong. We got a lot of people on this team that trust each other. And I think that's why the Raider way works when the Raider way is put out there. If you really got a bunch of Raiders, a bunch of Raider personalities and similar people, it's easy to find Raiders because they stand out. And if we find all those standout Raiders and bring them here, right, we don't have to worry about team cohesion because we only going to bring in people who gonna cohese because we know who we are, because we have a personality as Raiders. And if you're not a Raider, get gone. That's football. Man, there's so many different things, so many intertwining parts in football. So exciting. Everyone doesn't have to be great. Everyone has to be great in the moment. How many people can be great in the moment? And how many moments are there? And will you flub them up or will you keep on going? God damn. I'm back for football, man. And I know it's downtime, but the excitement is there. Y'all should be excited too. If you just learn what I learned, feel what I'm feeling, go with what you go with. Relax and wait. But damn if football is coming. And remember why it's the greatest fucking sport on the goddamn planet. Soccer. Come on now. Now remember, you can't win them all. The clouds get dark. If you want to see something bright, go to the silver lining. Guru out.